Hello, Fredak here. Fred ACC, all one word. Alrighty, it is Saturday, October the 18th. Yes, we're in October 2025. The year's going by. We've seen these waves on XRP. I got notes. Fredak's got notes. I can't afford it. That's what this is titled. As always, I want to thank you all for being here. I hope you subscribe because I try to bring things your way that you don't hear from all the other talking heads. Although a lot of this blunt conversation, one-sided conversation that I'm going to have, is going to be things that you have been hearing or you're going to start hearing a lot about because it's inevitable that this will happen. Inevitable. I always speak about the scammers. Be cautious of the scammers because they're out there in droves trying to part you from your money in all different forms. Bank accounts, real estate, crypto, this, that, cash money, whatever it might be. All different kinds of scams. Here's another area that I have to start to go into. The epic depression that's coming. Quite probably, I'm of the thought that this will far surpass the 1930s depression that the United States went through. The late 1929 stock market crash. No more jobs, difficult times. Why do I say that? Because it's unsustainable. What's going on is unsustainable. On top of all that, there is so much fraud going on. And it's all connected. The fraud is so connected to all this. And the administration knows that there's a tremendous amount of fraud going on. Tremendous amounts. Let's jump right into this here. I can't afford it. Okay, so my health insurance probably parallels a lot of you guys' health insurance. 4, 5, 6 years ago, trip to the emergency room. I had to pay $150 in co-payments. Then 2, 3 years later, maybe 3 years ago, it got raised to $250. Now it's $350. My co-payments, if I went to see whoever, the dermatologist, to drill a hole in my head, kind of skin cancer or some crap. Okay. Used to be $30, $35, and they raised it was $40 from everybody. Now it's $50. What is that telling me? It's telling me that things are getting desperate. Desperation is setting in. Okay. We've got over 8 billion people on this planet. I understand many of them are in third world countries, places that don't even know about what a cell phone is, or a Bitcoin, or an XRP, or bank accounts, light bulbs, laptop computers, finance, inflation. They don't know and they don't care. I get it. But then you got these things, buy now, pay later. Not a good formula. Because the natural American way is that everybody wants something now. I want it now. I'm not going to wait. I don't want to wait. I want it now. Sure, you go ask them, how much is that washer and dryer? Well, it's $2,800. Okay. But you can pay $27 a month for the next 19 years. Oh, okay, I'll take that. I want it now. Sure, you're going to pay 6 times what you would have paid for it up front. But I'm not going to wait. I want it now. Everybody wants it now. Look at all the stuff that's on the brink of insolvency. Auto loans. The repo rates are through the roof. Foreclosures are about to kick in huge. What can you and I do? Time to start battening down the hatches. Yes, most people are not going to say if they have a choice. Should I have the extra sports package or have my heart medicine? I'll stay with the heart medicine. I'll tweak down the sports package. Those are the things that start going first. Trips to the restaurant, cable TV bills, stuff like that. Non-essential things is what starts to get whittled down. Another example of the nature of where we are now and how we got to this point. 1999, we had the dot-com bubble, and it burst in 2000. And I spoke about on here, I don't remember the title of it, but you'd have to go back and look, something about the chop. And I lived in that world. I explained to you exactly what was going on. It wasn't criminality, it was legal. I ran away as fast as I could when I realized how unethical that it was. So we had the dot-com bust. The government bailed out General Motors and a bunch of other ones. Then we had the subprime collapse. 2005, 2006, 2007, a whole other interesting story. And I explained how the whole herd of scammers went from the Wolf of Wall Street world, they morphed over to the real estate world. That's where the soft spot was. Loan managers and doing appraisals. And so tons of toxic loans were packaged together as filet mignon. They were top quality. They sold these packages off, $100 million packages of stuff that was full of worthless junk or close to it. And what ended up happening? They let Lehman Brothers go under, Bear Stearns go under, and again, along came the government with a bailout. Yes, certain entities picked them up for pennies on the dollar, but the pain was avoided. No pain avoided. Boom and bust, but there was no bust. Nobody had to pay the consequences. Then along comes COVID. 6-7 years ago. More bailouts. Money printed out of the, dropped from the helicopter. Everybody gets money. Only problem was the tremendous amounts of fraud that went on through all of these different things. There's been fraud going on with everything. Section 8, EBT. And I'm sure there's many legitimate people that need a little bit of help. But these things are not meant for someone to be on them for 18 years, 26 years, from one generation to the next. It's stupidity. It's unsustainable. As I started this posting off, it's not sustainable. Well, the bill is coming and the piper needs to be paid. That's what we're going into. It's all coming to roost. The fraud is at epic levels. Epic levels. I cannot elaborate on this now. I can't do it right now. All I can actually share with you is that if you knew what I knew, I don't think you'd believe me. Maybe someday I can come on here and post the epic levels of fraud and the scams that are going on. But the downturn that we have coming is going to be epic. So let me leave a moment here with the whole I can't afford it posting. This is a warning light. Warning, 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 Will Robinson. Some of the must-haves. Everybody out there, you should have 6, 7, 8, 10 cases of bottled water. Without water, you cannot survive. Canned food is not such a bad thing either. And now I'm going to give a little bit of a scenario of how society breaks down really quickly. Not to bend your ear, but if you really take a moment to absorb all this, you'll realize this Fred Ack guy might actually know what he's talking about. And I'm not trying to be a doomsdayer, doomsayer, or whatever you'd call it, but used to be a time where Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, many businesses did the bulk of all of their sales, or a big chunk of their yearly sales. So after Thanksgiving, you filled your belly with your turkey, your gravy, and you were happy, pumpkin pie, and some chestnuts, and this and that. Late that night, 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, you went out to the local store with all the super specials going on. You had your beach chair, you parked it there. There's a line of 40, 50 people already. You get on the back of the line, there's someone right in front of you. Someone comes behind you, the line keeps getting longer. You're talking to the person in front of you. Hey, how you doing? I'm Fred Ack. Oh, I'm Joey or Susie or whatever. And you might be saying an hour or two later, oh, gee, can you watch my spot? I'm just going to go over and go to the bathroom. Or go to Dunkin' Donuts. You want a donut or a coffee? Or I don't know. And they're sharing chiclets or coffee with you and vice versa. And you know them. The one's right in front of you. The one's right behind you. Fantastic. It's human nature to interact with people. The doors open at 7:30. You're in the store shopping around, grabbing things like a mad, wild person because an normally $299, and now they have them for $19. I got to get mine. I got to get mine. They make an announcement. Over at aisle 6, we've got the flat screen TV for $39. You go rushing on over there. It's like it's like when they open up those trucks with the rice out in sub-Sahara Africa somewhere, Somalia, wherever. It's like mad pandemonium bedlam, grabbing at everything. You know, they're grabbing at that TV. You turn, get away from that effing TV. You're ready to hit the place. You turn around. It's Joe, the guy in front of you that was giving you the chiclets or the coffee. Society breaks down quickly. No food, no water. Things get ugly fast. I'm sorry to share this with all of you, but I don't think there's enough parachutes on the plane for all the passengers. Too many people on the globe. How do you go about weeding all this out? How do you make the divide? Logically, there's going to be some kind of, whether it's gold or whatever, silver or ABCD or XRP or whatever. I personally think that it's going to be XRP. Out of the ashes is going to come something that is going to be used to divide the masses. The haves and the have-nots. Which one are you going to be? Think about all this. It's stuff worth thinking about. It's sad, the picture that we have painted, printing money endlessly for years and years and years. Now it's finally coming to roost. Hey, the king has no clothes. Everybody's talking about the beautiful clothes the king has. You probably know that fable from somewhere. King with no clothes. Whoever says no, off with their head. And after a while, someone yells it out. He has no clothes on. He's naked. Well, that's what's happening to the global economies. There's no clothes. There's no nothing. All right, I want to thank you all for being here. Hope you subscribe. Hope you own some XRP. Just sit tight. Will it really matter if your XRP ends up going to $8, $9, $10, $12, $15 down the road? Heck no. That it dipped down by $1? Nah, it's all good. May all your days be winning ones.